We who believe in creator energy are the blessed ones. We
Mhm.
know this because we believe in something bigger than ourselves, that something is a compelling energy, a driving force that moves us in ways we cannot conjure up on our own. It's about the heart and love and humility and genuine concern and caring that is the irrefutable God spark within us. We who believe in creator energy are the blessed ones. We know this because when our intentions are set on a goal, and the goal is righteous and pure of intent, it is as a prayer. And we know because prayers are answered. We are the blessed ones who do the work of the heart, the work that is given beyond mind and out of intense feeling and with divine grace. We are ever grateful for the knowing and for the countless blessings that are given us every moment of every day. We are blessed that we know love and its power. Let it be so, and so it is.
Mhm. Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Lee.
Thank you. Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Today, William and I were working on my truck and talking. And one of the things we discussed was jurisdiction. And the concept that a free man or woman has that they can inhabit any jurisdiction, venue, or law form available on the land and soil of Oregon anytime they so wish and as frequently as they wish without losing their default de jure government. I wrote it something like that, just a couple of short lines, and it's clear. To go with Charlie's package she's putting together for those folks that drive automobiles. Screw all that extra jargon that you have to learn so that you do not associate yourself with the driver's license. The concept is not really bad. It's good to know that people have some level of competence. But the guy that gets a 62.5 and passes and is a terrible driver, and the guy that has 100% and is an excellent driver, you can't tell by looking at the license. So, shit. It's like a bar card, I guess. Pardon me. So, back to jurisdiction. The jurisdiction that you're in. On Oregon, any Oregon State Bar attorney agrees to the jurisdiction of the judge and the court when they walk into the court and cross the bar. That's part of the agreement that they have and the contract and the oath they took at the Oregon State Bar, whether they're a JD or an Esquire. They are going to give jurisdiction to that judge in court, all the while knowing it's de facto. And all that de facto means, including the comma that states illegal and illegitimate, which my attorney granddaughter claimed she had never known. She only knew the first part about its indeed and in fact in charge and whether you know. So it's jurisdiction. That's what we're talking about here. And we have to get some of this recorded to get information out for the television channels and YouTube and Brighteon. I'm on.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Really a professional video. But however, that's the way it goes. So if the people that are lawyers are dealing with the de facto because it is the de facto, then we have to introduce into that jurisdiction the rest of it, the illegal and illegitimate part. And the only way that we've been able to come up with a reasonable way to do it is lawfully and legitimately through the de jure documents of the Declaration of the 13 Colonies, the Confederation and Perpetual Unions articles, which includes the United States of America, United States, and our Constitution. Those are all lawful, legitimate documents if you choose to be an American, a U.S. citizen, a registered or unregistered foreign agent. If you're here and operating on the land and soil in whichever jurisdiction, then at that time, you have to make your stand. How do you do that? If you've got any ideas, please notify us. Contact us. www.orsja.org. When we're confronting the judiciary or the executive on the medical or legal side of all of the issues that are going down right now, you know, the ones where they're killing us and taking away government and giving us tyranny, that location here on Oregon and all across the land, jurisdiction. So original jurisdiction is what we're shooting for. A lot of people have no idea what original jurisdiction is. And when you look in Black's Law for jurisdiction, I'm going to look in Black Sixth. That's the 100-year anniversary of Black's Law. Jurisdiction starts on page 853 and goes through all kinds of jurisdiction disputes, facts, limits, pleas, statement, clause, persona, in rem, in person, in subject matter, over the person, in territory. All those are jurisdictions. And you have to be able to make a determination on who you are and what you're doing and what your jurisdiction is. One of our action committee members is very active in our assembly, very active in a whole lot of church activities, and the Republican Party. Now, how she fits all that together, I don't know, but she does a remarkably good job at it. At the same time, her and her husband run a business and earn a living. And she's dealing with 3, 4, or 5 jurisdictions every day. She has a very ill mother. And there's a major conflict going on with the health industry, starting with Willamette Hospital. I was there. So in addition to that, then she may have to, and frequently does, interact with the Republican Party members and the organization, of which she's one of the, I forget her job, Multnomah County.
Precinct committee person. A piece
All
of
right. Hello, Cynthia. So, jurisdiction. William and I were thinking, how do we protect Cynthia when she's going through all of this all the time? When we know that the cops on a traffic stop even will try and catch you out to make you inadvertently step into their jurisdiction so they can do you harm. They do it. You see it on the YouTube all the time that you want to look at it, all over the nation. You can, there it is. The cops are doing it everywhere. So, out of all of those everywheres, we're here on Oregon. I'm like 13 miles from ground zero. Cynthia's about 3 or 4 miles from ground zero. Ray's about 50. Laura's about, how far, Laura? 100 and a quarter?
Yep, that sounds right.
So, we think one of the ways to protect our members in our Jural Assembly is to make up a packet to help them get through all of the jurisdictional changes that are going on. Who do you know? No. Who is it that you are interacting with? For an example, you stop with the sheriff of a county that has sworn allegiance to the United Nations and taken their dollar, and they support the UN Agenda 2030 or whatever one it was, and they get a lot of money. They get to buy tanks and SWAT teams and stuff. If you're dealing with the sheriff that's into that, the deputies that work for him can be quite vicious. Whereas a deputy out in Malheur County or Grant or any one of them out in eastern Oregon, other than if you get a local cop like Cornelius that decides that he wants to augment the salary of the city by setting up a speed trap and working it. If you don't run across a guy like that, and the sheriffs are not waiting on the overpass with the radar gun hidden so they can catch a speeder, what kind of peace, safety, and happiness are they affording the Oregonian driving down Highway 26 if they're hiding on an overpass with a radar gun to catch a speeder? The speeder has not violated anything, hasn't caused any action to change his jurisdiction from a man going fast in an automobile that has no contract with anybody on that action until he hurts somebody or damages property. He's a free man. Don't get in there with your science fiction stuff of trying to make me an invisible entity and change my jurisdiction to the all cap version of my name. Not gonna happen. So if you're entering either one of those counties, you got to be prepared for either one of the situations that you may get from one of those cops. What is cop? Cop is civilian on patrol. And there's one sheriff and he's elected, the rest are deputies and they work for the county government. There isn't any law. But you have to know that and you have to be able to withstand the barrage that's coming. We think the best way is when they question you, don't answer. Don't engage in conversation. Ask them if you're free to go. Give me a supervisor. Anything I say will be and can be used against me, and nothing I say will be used for me. I'm not talking to you. But you have to be prepared to go to jail at that time. You have to be prepared that they'll yank the car door open or just break out the window. We've all seen it happen more than once. So when you're out there and you're changing jurisdictions and you're driving from one county into another county and a cop stops you for whatever reason, my wholehearted suggestion is have a driver's license, have insurance, and have a vehicle that's licensed. If you have a what is it? An auto lien on it. It's not paid for. It's not yours. You own it with the credit company. Then if you make the decision that you're not going to do that, then you have to identify yourself some other way. Maybe. You have to prove responsibility for your automobile. Maybe. So all of that has to be done, and we have to do it this way. This is the way we have to do it. We have to do it by law. In jurisdiction, the de jure or the brain won't say it. De jure. Yeah, the de jure. The French pronunciation. You can't get caught up in, oh, by the way, did you vote? Why, sure. Uh-huh. Then you're in our jurisdiction. What was that guy on TV long time ago? Blind in one eye, always wore a wrinkled trench coat and a hat. Oh, God. Yeah. The memory cells are just folding in on one another. In any case, what?
Colombo.
Yes. Thank you. So, I've about exhausted what I wanted to say, but I'd like to reinforce it one more time. Every bar attorney on Oregon, every member of the Oregon State Bar is a member of a criminal organization that's a subdivision of another criminal organization, the Salem oligarchy. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying, and then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.